So for an Aries, your house, that your seventh house is ruled by Libra and Venus. And so an Aries sun, moon, or ascendant, if you look where you're in your chart, Venus is affecting you currently with its transit in Libra, is your seventh house. And where you normally have a possibility of having open enemies is in partnerships. And so while Venus is transiting in that house, you would not feel so much the possibility of having as many issues. Things might be smoothed out in your partnerships and your marriage and your negotiations and contracts and so forth. For a Taurus, where your Libra is in your chart, is your sixth house of work and health. And so while Venus is transiting there, you may have you may have easier time of negotiating things that you want to happen at work. And because the opposite house rules for you, it would be the seventh house away from Libra. That's your unconscious mind and so forth. So you would maybe have a less emphasis on unconscious motivations and more luck in your work and health matters while Venus is transiting this area. For a Gemini, Libra normally rules your fifth house of fun and play and entertainment and romance. And so there will be an emphasis on having partnerships there while Venus is transiting there, and less focus maybe on the opposite house, which is the public rebellion in society and so forth. So you would have less emphasis on having open enemies in society and be more focused on your entertainment and creativity and children, and maybe smoother negotiations with contracts and so forth that have to do with entertainment. For a Cancer, Libra normally rules your fourth house of home and family and your mother. And so the effect for you would be maybe more harmony at home, more um, just and fair negotiations with partners at home and in your marriage, at home, and less focus on your career being a problem or having enemies at work or through a career matter. For a Leo, your house that is ruled by Libra is your third house of communications, so you may find it easier to negotiate and smooth out and talk about and negotiate different contracts and maybe studies that you're focused on, things that are your communications will be easier, more fair and just. You'll be able to see more sides to every side of, and be able to work out things through your communications, maybe easier, or have more fair and just outcomes to your communications, and maybe less focus on far away matters. You for a Virgo, your um, house that is ruled by Libra is the second house, which is also Taurus's house, and it's also ruled by Venus. It's a double the luck there, because Venus is the planet of luck, and you may find things easier to negotiate with partners as to your money and how you bring in your money or possessions or luxuries or luxuriant food, your possessions. You will find it easier to work with a partner or negotiate with a partner on those matters, and less emphasis maybe on your own desires, or your secretive side. You're more focused on the material side of life, and you will have luck in that area. For a Libra, that is your first house where Venus is um, transiting, and you could come across more beautiful or aesthetically pleasing. You may focus more on beautiful things. Uh, you may feel more fair and just, and focus on beautiful things. Um, and it would be wrapped up with your identity, and less issues in your partnerships, less the feeling of being having a problem working out each um, a partner's needs. You'd be more focused on fair and just outcome for both of you, and in any kind of partnership or negotiation or contract, there would be a focus on that, and you would have more luck during this time while Venus is transiting your sign. Less chance of having open enemies in your partnerships. And for a Scorpio, this transit is affecting your 12th house of the unconscious motivations. So you may feel exceptionally lucky, or creative things may come up under the surface that your connection to aesthetically pleasing, fair, and just things may suddenly seem a focus, and maybe less focus on your work, and um, you may be able to work out things that unconsciously you've been unable to work out, and suddenly it comes clear that you see all sides. Libra weighs all sides, and Venus ruling that area. You have that all the time anyway, as your unconscious motivations, that Libra rules that area. But while Venus is there, it's exceptionally good for you to see all sides of problems and work out more easily spiritual and unconscious, maybe things that are under the surface that you didn't notice before. Less chance of having being unaware of how your enemies are coming across. The 12th house rules hidden enemies, and the 7th house of Libra rules open enemies. While Venus is in there, you'll probably be more aware of who is on your side. Sagittarius, your 10th house of career, or excuse me, the 11th house of social activity, and friendships is the one that is being affected while Venus is there. And for you, Libra always rules that house, and that is society at large and rebellion and all kinds of uh, individuality. It's ingenious ideas and ingenious thinking and so forth. And so maybe you will be able to have more luck in negotiating things that you have been working on toward revolutionizing, and something that you wanted to move forward in individuality. You negotiate, are able maybe to negotiate a more satisfying um, uh, contract or something toward what you had been working toward, where society at large is concerned, or where your friendships are concerned, and it would be less focus on your ego and so forth, your own how you entertain, or your ego, or your play. You would be more focused on society and negotiating things with a larger crowd and with friendships. And Capricorn, your house that is ruled by Libra is the house of career. And the house of career is where you will feel that things maybe come easier while Venus is transiting there. It's um, extra luck in negotiating things in your career, possibly better contracts, better negotiations with your father, or negotiations with your partners in your career, or older men. You could feel like maybe things that have been stalled are able to go forward, and you'll see all sides of problems that you didn't see before, because Venus and Libra both rule being able to see all sides, weighing all sides of problems. And so you may be able to finally negotiate something that you have been working toward in your career, or see a new side, or have another partnership, or maybe through your marriage somehow you will have better luck with negotiating something in your career, or finding a better partner for your career, or finding better partners to work with. And then it would be less focus on home matters. You would see less the feeling that you have conflicts with your home. Um, Now Aquarius has Libra ruling the ninth house of foreign affairs and long distance communications, and long distance travel, and the higher mind and philosophy and so forth. So with Venus transiting there, it's a double effect. Libra always rules that house for Aquarius, and so it is always just they always want to be fair in their negotiations for long distance matters, and um, diplomatic and so forth. And that's Venus brings an extra oomph to that. It could bring negotiations of money that are suddenly able to go forth, that you were having maybe not as much luck getting to go forward or to negotiate. And so it would be not so much the home matters or the lower, closer matters that you find a breakthrough in, but more long distance or maybe travel that you want to take, and maybe find luck in travel, and maybe you find a partner in travel, maybe you find a marriage partner through travel somehow far away or with a foreigner. Now, the Pisces Libra rules your eighth house of sexual partners and death, rebirth, transformations, psychology, the occult. And so that area is always ruled by Libra for you. And so you may always feel like you have this feeling of love mixed with those matters, or feeling of you always want a partner. You feel dependent on a partner because Libra is a codependent energy, and it's so in sexuality and in matters of people passing away, or um, um, uh, money coming to you from outside sources, or psychology, you may always feel connected to um, needing a partner with you during when you deal with these things. And so that you may attract partners that are always into the occult or psychology, or into matters that are under the surface, secretive. And so anyway, with Venus there, it will probably bring more focus on that area and more luck in that area. You may find a sex partner that you actually love, love and sex. You may find a soulmate, and more away from, you would be more focused on, it could be the possibility of money coming to you from outside sources. It would be extra luck there. Maybe a negotiation that you've been working on will come through, um, and less focus on money through your own efforts, or you putting in the effort to have something come to you. This will bring things from outside sources to you. And I think that's the last one. So okay, thanks for listening.